What's up, guys? I have a confession. My hair looks like shit.
Hair becomes your whole life. You're looking at other people's hair to like rate it. You're looking at your own hair, like how does it look in the light? Every photo you take, you're looking at your hair. It's like a weird obsession, and especially if someone brings that up, like it makes you feel terrible. It's arguably like the worst hit to the ego, like makes you feel like shit.
Today I'm gonna be shaving my head bald.
I like it, man. Like honestly, I don't even trip anymore, but it's been a long ways to get to here. So where to start? I mean, my name's Chris Oram and I'm 26 years old from Las Vegas, Nevada. Definitely I've been going through the hair loss journey. As you can see now, I got the full dome shaved. I got the beard. I've been going to the gym. It's been a long time to get here. And I'm here to share my journey just because I feel like it hasn't been easy. It's definitely affected my self-esteem to some point, my confidence. A lot of the guys that Harry has on the channel and viewers of the show, they go through all the same thing. And hopefully something I say can resonate with you because it's definitely helped me as a resource in the past when I decided to shave my head for the first time. When I was in high school and I first noticed that I was losing my hair, it first started at like the crown region. So when I had like a longer cut, my hair was longer. There was more visible scalp, I feel like. So people would make comments and it definitely hurt. When I would have it cut shorter, it wasn't too big of a deal. But then it started transitioning more to like the top of my head, so my scalp region, and it just like wasn't cool with me anymore. So I started looking at all different types of things: minoxidil, Propecia, finasteride, those sorts of things. But I just kind of let it be for a while. It wasn't like terrible. It was thinning and I was self-conscious about it, but I needed something. I needed a change. I wanted to feel good about myself. Really, I feel like I was one of the only people in my high school that was going through like hair loss at the time. I think there was like maybe a couple other kids in the school in like a different grade. Like I definitely knew one dude that was like severely going through hair loss, but I didn't interpret it to be like terrible, but I definitely knew something was happening. And I think one of the first times I noticed, I was combing my hair down, I saw scalp, and I then proceeded to go over. Like I was definitely like a comb over type of guy. And like people definitely like knew that was my style. I had like almost a part. It was definitely my hair was thinning.
Right.
Right. So I never had a problem with exactly my hairline. I mean, I think it may have been shifted back, but I was definitely going through like thinning all over the top. And I feel like that's the worst one. Like that could be just personal opinion, but I think that personally looks the worst.
Yeah. The sneak attack from behind, right?
When it was too long, it showed in the crown. When it was too short, it showed on top. So I tried doing a medium and that worked for high school. It worked for high school. And then first couple of years of college, but I was always self-conscious. I was definitely a hat guy too. I don't necessarily think that I'm like an ugly guy, but I knew I had like an imperfection when it comes to like my hair. So I was always like real self-conscious of that. So one way that like especially in college you can do it at during the day in class and then at night at a party is wearing a hat. And when you can mask something that you perceive as like a imperfection or a flaw, and then you can still be confident, but at the end of the day, like there's something under that hat that not necessarily you're proud of or that you are self-conscious of. So especially when you're talking to women, I think they can see right through if you have a hat on and you have some self cautions about that. If they ask you to take the hat off, then it's like even weirder. Like they know eventually someone's going to know, someone's going to see. So you can only hide it for so long.
The secret. What's going on beneath that hat?
And Harry, on your channel, I know you've talked about like hair fibers, like Topic, and there's one called Hair 2.0. And I didn't do it often, but my barber had some, so I've done it a few times, less than 5, but shit works, and it can temporarily
Yeah, dude.
solve this thing. But one thesis of the channel of hair loss, I feel like, is just it's like a never ending battle. But part of that is like how you go to this freeing nature where like after you shave your head, it's very freeing. I don't want to speak for you, but I've had days where I've come home and just felt like shit because someone said something about my hair.
Oh yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah. Or I used to have it like when I've like almost said something to myself about the hair, you know, that like real negative self-talk.
When a girl does it is when it hurts the most. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you're like going bald. Like I can see your head. Like not a good feeling. When I just really accepted it, I think it was a win.
What I really want to hear from you is that moment you go from the hat wearing, the insecure. Talk to me about the transition out of that.
I mean, I was just done. And I think I had seen people who I perceived to be like cool that were bald. And I was like, I want to be cool and bald is really kind of like the one who really did it for me is like Johnny Sins. Like
Yeah.
because he's not only the perception that he's cool, he's fit, but he has what the guys want, and that's the attraction from the ladies. So that
Yeah.
means like maybe I'll be okay. You know, I think I started by buzzing it, and within, you know, an hour, I realized I'm not buzzing it. I'm going bald. So I just went bald, and at first I hated it. You know, like
Yeah.
I think there's probably a mixed reaction. I think like you look in the mirror and it's like, who is this person? Yeah, I think it's maybe an identity crisis too. Who is this person? Woke up the next morning and I had like a closet mirror, and I like looked at myself in the mirror like from my bed, and I was like, this is weird. There is a much more maintenance, I feel like, with keeping it up and staying clean in that regard if you choose to do like the completely shaved look. But it's completely freeing as you're no longer hiding this flaw, this imperfection. You feeling like you losing your hair is somehow a knock to you and your self-esteem and your confidence. I mean, it's a freeing feeling when you make that leap of faith.
Yeah, when you jump off the train, make the leap of faith, cut away the dead weight, or really what it comes down to, in my opinion, is just revealing that secret. And I think a lot of the relief that we, like guys like us on the other side of it, talk about and refer to, you know, when you say use those words, oh, it's I feel so much lighter, oh, feels so freeing, is because of the weight, the burden of constantly trying to keep this secret or keep this thing hidden. And life happens around you, right? So if you want to actually live your life and get out there, there's always going to be times when your secret is kind of under threat of being revealed. And that's heavy, dude. That gets so heavy. And to finally have it out there is like where I think a lot of that like exhale comes from, you know?
And there's a lot of imaginary fears going up into that point. Like, what if I don't look good with a shaved head? Like, what if people don't like me? What if it looks like I'm sick? Like, I think the big one is like, what if girls no longer find me attractive?
Yeah, I think that's a big one, you know, because it's unknown territory, you know, it's untrodden lands. It's an unknown path for you. So if you're like, I've never been shaved headed going out there into the dating world. So, you know, and the unknown is scary, right? So just human nature, unfortunately.
When you first do it, everyone notices because it's a different look. You look completely different. Everyone that is in your current life will notice you. But the good thing about shaving it at a certain point is that anyone new you meet will accept you for you. So if you are meeting new people, if you are interacting with, you know, new women in your life, like they're going to know you as this new person. So there is a bit of a transition period, which like you have to be prepared for. People are going to say like, oh, whoa, new look or something like that. I wouldn't even ask someone what they think, because it's not really about what they think. But
yeah,
I think it's better to be true who you are. Like I try and introduce myself as who I am, you know, with my shaved head, with my bald head, and you know, that's who I am in the dating market. But every single person who's going through that, like what I can preach that will make you a better person, level up, make you stronger, more self-confident, give you those endorphins, is going to the gym. Like it's not going to hurt you in any regard. It's all net positive. And I think people that suffer from hair loss, you know, especially at an early age, but even at a later age, the more you become aware of what self-mastery is and that you're not just vain about your looks, like once you move on past your looks, then you can focus on other areas of life, whether that's your hobby, your skill, your passion, your family, your love, your faith, whatever. You can focus on that and become a better person and stop worrying about the hair loss, because especially after it's been a significant amount of time, now you can kind of transcend into that person that's trying to help other people that are going through that, like in the heat of the moment. Because I spent the heat of the moment in years where I was like, oh no, my hair it like looks like shit.
Yeah, that takes up like like most of your energy at the time, right?
Yes, like retweet 100%. You know, losing your hair isn't always a bad thing. Like I know a lot of society correlates it with a bad thing, but there's a lot of positives to it. One thing I'll tell you about being shaved head is no one ever discriminates against me now for like I can always go get like a high title job because they don't treat me like the 26-year-old kind of like kid idiot. This guy can be like the 26-year-old kind of like boss. Like, I think a lot of people, it makes them look better. I think like you can look like a strong, respectful, confident man because you shave your head. And I think a lot of others, men and women, perceive people that way. So overall, I mean, there's maintenance going on with it. You got to shave your head every couple of days if you want to keep up with it. But overall, like, I'm happy I made the journey. It wasn't easy. I don't be tripping on it anymore. And that's a highlight, you know, that's a good thing. So it's been a long time coming, but truly try and become the 10.0 version of yourself, because that's what we're all aspiring to do in this life.
The day you actually did it, right? Because that's the bit where guys get stuck. They're like, look, I call it the uncomfortable familiar, right? You just keep on keeping on. You're like, this sucks. Like, I hate this. I'm constantly worried about it. I'm constantly stressing, but I'm also afraid of shaving it off. And that time period can be anything from like 2 months to 20 years, you know, for some people. So what was it that was actually able to push you over the line or make you do it?
I can only speak for myself, but I think I had like my best friend at the time say like, hey, you should, you know, if like maybe I ran it across them and they said like, yeah, you should do it. Like, I'd support that. I think all you really need is one person in your corner saying, hey, like, I support you doing this. And then when you have that confidence that you want to do it, but you also have someone supporting you, then you just kind of do it. Like I would start in the middle, so there's no going back. But like once you do it and like just try it out. And like I said, there's going to be a bit of an odd period, but I would say give it, if you really want to give it a fair opportunity, like you're willing to give this a shot, I would say 90 days. Nothing terrible is going to happen. If you had a perfect head of hair and then you shave your head, like it might be a little bit weird, but if you're tripping on it already, like just try it for 90 days. My recommendations are get a tan, go to the gym, grow a beard if you can, keep it well maintained, level up, grow as a person, and, you know, truly try and become the 10.0 version of yourself, because that's what we're all aspiring to do in this life.